My husband's work wife made a handwritten book of 35 reasons he's amazing for his birthday, something even I didn't do. He looked more touched by her gift than mine. I finally snapped. Am I the a-hole? I, a 33-year-old woman, am completely lost about whether I crossed a line with my husband Mark's coworker Jessica, who's 31, but I've reached my breaking point with their relationship. Mark, who's 35, and Jessica have worked together at the same tech company for 5 years. They started as project managers on the same team and have risen through the ranks together. I'd always been a bit uncomfortable with how close they were, but I tried to be understanding since they spend a lot of time collaborating on projects. Over the years, I've noticed their dynamic becoming increasingly intimate. They have inside jokes I'm not part of. They get coffee together every morning before work, and they text constantly, even during evenings and weekends. Mark calls her his work wife, and while he insists it's just a joke, something about it has always bothered me. Last week was Mark's 35th birthday. I planned a surprise party at our house with friends and family, and bought him the high-end gaming PC he'd been wanting for months. I was excited to make his birthday special, and everything seemed perfect until Jessica arrived with her gift. She handed Mark a handmade leather-bound book titled 35 Reasons You're Amazing. Inside, she'd handwritten 35 detailed stories and memories about times he'd impressed her, supported her, or made her laugh at work. Each page had photos and little mementos like coffee receipts or sticky notes from their projects together. The final page said something about him being the best partner she could ask for, with a winky face. The way Mark reacted to her gift broke something in me. He got emotional reading it, saying it was the most thoughtful gift he'd ever received. He hugged her for what felt like forever, completely forgetting about the expensive PC I'd saved for months to buy him. Jessica caught my eye during the hug and had this small, satisfied smile that made my blood boil. I kept quiet during the party, but I couldn't stop thinking about how much time and effort she'd put into that gift. It felt like something a girlfriend would make, not a coworker. The next day, I decided to confront her at their office during lunch break. I found them at their usual cafe across from their building. I asked Jessica if we could talk privately, and Mark looked confused but didn't object. Once we were alone, I told her she'd crossed a line with that gift and needed to back off from my husband. She acted shocked, claiming she was just being a good friend and that I was reading too much into things. I lost my composure and told her that no friend spends months creating such an intimate gift for a married man. I brought up their constant texting, their daily coffee dates, and how she always finds excuses to touch his arm or shoulder when they talk. I told her she was being inappropriate and disrespecting our marriage. Jessica got defensive, saying I was being paranoid and that she and Mark are just close colleagues who support each other. She said I should be glad my husband has such a strong professional relationship, and that I was embarrassing myself by showing up at their workplace like this. Mark found us arguing and was furious with me. He said I'd humiliated him at work and that I was being completely irrational. He's barely spoken to me since, saying I need to apologize to Jessica for attacking her over a birthday gift. My sister thinks I did the right thing standing up for my marriage, but my best friend says I've just pushed Mark and Jessica closer together by acting jealous and possessive. Mark is still sleeping in the guest room, saying he needs space to process how I could assault his character by implying he'd ever be inappropriate with a coworker. Something important to add, the book included intimate stories about how he stayed late to help her prepare for a big presentation when she was nervous. There were photos of them at work events and team celebrations, including several selfies of just the two of them. She wrote about how he always knows how to make her smile on tough days. There were ticket stubs from work conferences they attended together and multiple mentions of their special bond and unique connection. There's more context that feels important. Mark and I have discussed boundaries before, but he always dismisses my concerns as insecurity. Jessica is single and has been the whole time they've worked together. They frequently have lunch alone together and often work late on projects. Mark has never made me a sentimental gift like this, saying he's not good at that stuff. We've been together 8 years, married for 4. Things were great until Jessica joined his team 5 years ago. This isn't about the money spent on gifts, it's about the emotional intimacy of her gift compared to any effort he's ever made for me. So Reddit, Am I the a-hole for confronting her, or was I right to finally say something? Thanks for listening to Reddit Am I the A-hole Stories. Please subscribe and comment your thoughts.